Picture this, a packed auditorium, not just a crowd, a movement, thousands gathered, families shoulder to shoulder, children with flags, a stage, a man, a message. Charlie Kirk. Love him or hate him, you couldn't ignore him. It was supposed to be just another speech, faith, freedom, the future of America. Until the shot. A single crack tore through the air. Charlie Kirk collapsed. And just like that, a man was dead, and the nation had a name. Tyler Robinson. 22 years old, accused, arrested, tried in the press before he ever saw a courtroom. His face was everywhere. The story wrote itself. A young radical, an anti-conservative loner, a political motive. A rooftop sniper, they said. A bolt-action rifle. DNA on the trigger. A note under his keyboard that read, "I have the opportunity to take out Charlie Kirk, and I'm going to take it." Case closed, or was it? Because what if everything you were told was wrong? What if the bullet that ended Charlie Kirk's life didn't come from a rooftop at all? What if Tyler Robinson never pulled the trigger? Tonight, we open a case that's already been sealed. We go beyond the headlines and into the dark space where politics, justice, and truth collide. Let's start with the autopsy. Leaked medical documents, never released to the public, tell a very different story than the one prosecutors are selling. According to those who treated Charlie Kirk in his final moments, the bullet that killed him never exited. It didn't rip through his chest. It stopped, deep in the tissue at the base of his neck. Now listen carefully, that single fact changes everything. A bolt-action rifle fired from over 100 yards away doesn't just stop in soft tissue. Not unless something is very, very wrong with the story you've been told. The trajectory? Not downward as you'd expect from an elevated sniper shot, but horizontal, straight through, as if fired from behind, from ground level. So ask yourself, how does a bullet enter from behind, when the alleged shooter was in front? And why hasn't law enforcement addressed this? Ballistics experts say it's impossible. The force of that rifle should have blown through the body and left a very different wound profile. No exit wound, no bone fragmentation. That's not how these weapons work. So we dug deeper. We reviewed over 70 cell phone videos taken inside the auditorium that day. And guess what we found? People didn't react like they heard a distant shot. They flinched like it happened next to them. They ducked in unison before any echo. One person even described it as, like a firecracker behind my head. Several witnesses said the same thing. The sound was close, not distant, not elevated. And more than a few reported seeing movement behind the stage just moments before the shot rang out. But here's the most damning part. To this day, police have not released any official sound analysis. No trajectory mapping, no 3D reconstruction, nothing. Why? Because if the shot didn't come from that rooftop, then the state has the wrong man. And that means the real killer could be someone else entirely, someone much closer. Let's talk about the evidence, the DNA, the note, the texts. Yes, Tyler Robinson had strong political opinions. He didn't like Charlie Kirk. But is that a crime? Prosecutors claim his angry texts are proof of intent. But rage isn't guilt, and context matters. The so-called note, found hours later, hidden under his keyboard. No fingerprints on the paper, just handwriting. Handwriting that hasn't been verified by an independent analyst. Could it have been planted? Could someone have framed a politically angry young man who already looked guilty? Because if someone wanted to silence Charlie Kirk and needed a fall guy, Tyler Robinson was perfect. Isolated, politically vocal, digitally vulnerable, a profile that fits the narrative like a glove. Now let's talk about what you didn't hear in court. There's a 12-second gap in the live stream footage. Glitch, corruption, or something worse? One clip shows a faint shadow moving behind the curtain just seconds before the shot, right where witnesses claimed they saw someone. And yet, no mention in the police report. No explanation, no follow-up, no suspect. Just silence. And when silence surrounds the most critical parts of a case, that's not justice. That's control. We also found out that Charlie Kirk was planning something big. A multi-state youth movement. A platform that would have threatened political power structures on both sides of the aisle. Was he making enemies? Was someone watching? And was this public execution meant not just to kill a man, but to send a message? We don't deal in conspiracy. We deal in questions. Questions that the justice system doesn't seem interested in asking. If the bullet didn't come from the rooftop, if the sound was close, not distant, if the shooter was behind the stage, not in front of it, then Tyler Robinson is being tried for a crime he didn't commit. And if that's true, then somewhere out there, the real killer is watching this unfold, untouched, uninvestigated, unafraid. This case is far from over. In fact, it may be just beginning. For the Kirk family, this is a tragedy. For Tyler Robinson, it's a death sentence. And for the rest of us, it's a warning. Justice is only as real as the system that protects it. And sometimes, that system needs a body, not the truth. So ask yourself, who really killed Charlie Kirk? And how long will it take before someone dares to say it out loud? Stay tuned. We're not done. Not until every question is answered and every lie exposed. Subscribe, turn on notifications, and don't stop sharing this. Because the more people who hear this, the harder it becomes to bury.